What's up, guys? I just got done driving this 2022 Hyundai Elantra N, and I have to tell you, it's good. It's really good. And today I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle from the exterior to the interior. And yes, you are going to go on a drive with me at the end of this video. Before we do all that, if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt, and on Matt the Car Guy here, I post 2 car reviews every single week. So if automotive content is your thing, do me a favor, go to the bottom of the screen, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give me a like as well. Now, I found this vehicle in Ghetto Hyundai of Lakewood's inventory, and if you want to check out their selection of vehicles, I'm also going to put the link in the description of this video, as well as the phone number. So if you want to find out about the pricing and availability, you can give them a call. Now let's get back to this. I've already done a few new Elantras on this channel, and this, from the distance, it looks just like any other one, right? But if you get closer, there are certain characteristics, certain features of this vehicle that make it completely different. So let's get to it. Now, it still has the same exact hood as you've seen on the other ones. You have 2 more of a pronounced body lines on the sides and more of a subtle ones on the inside. Big Hyundai logo right there, and now you do have this fully LED light setup with the daytime running lights right on top. Now, that's what makes this vehicle different than any of the other Elantras, and that's because this grille, it's hard to see on the black vehicle, but this grille is all matte black, and that extends into the bumper. So really, there is no bumper, right? It's open. It allows for a lot of air to come inside the engine to help with the cooling, and badge right on the side. And entire car has this red line right underneath it. You can see it at this front splitter over here, and there also has a bigger air vents over here for better aerodynamics. Now, what makes this special is what's underneath the hood. So let's pop it open and see what it is. In the heart of the sporty sedan, we have this 2.0-liter turbocharged engine, 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. Now, with the push of an NGS button, it's able to add 10 horsepower for about 10 seconds or so. So if you need a boost, here it is too. Now, it is mated to an 8-speed dual wet clutch automatic transmission, and it is pretty quick. I just got done test driving it, guys. It is very, very impressive. Now, one thing that I don't like is this prop stick on the high-end sporty vehicle. It shouldn't be there. Hood strut. All right, and in addition to the noise cancellation, we have some heat shield over here as well. Take a look at the side profile of this vehicle, guys. I gotta tell you, I like it. Even though I wasn't crazy about the regular Elantra N line, now this makes it pop. Not only the overall look of this vehicle, but I think they made such a nice job by getting this front lip spoiler painted red on the sides, and that continues in the side skirt right at the bottom. The N logo is embossed right in here. It looks pretty sick. And then I also have the N logo right in the center cap of this wheel. Now, if you look at the wheel and tire setup, 19-inch wheels, 245/35 ZR rated 19-inch tires. Those are Michelin Pro Sports, so those are very sticky tires. If you get them up to speed, if you get them warmed up, they're gonna stick, and you're gonna be like on rails basically. Now, it's also important, it does have the limited slip differential, so that really makes a difference, especially for the front-wheel drive vehicle. Now, as far as the rest of this vehicle, let's quickly take a look. The mirrors are the color-coded, the same color as the rest of the vehicle. You do have the turn signal indicator, blind spot assist. Everything is nicely blacked out. It's piano black, it's not that matte black. Matches the color of this particular vehicle. And we're gonna move to the back of it so you can see how aggressive this is. especially from the back. You can't miss that this is a performance vehicle. You do have this kind of cute spoiler that's built inside of it. I think I kind of wish it was a little bit higher, but that's what they have standard at the factory. Now you do have a fully LED light setup with the incandescent turn signals. Elantra is spelled out right on top of this Hyundai logo. You have the rear view camera, and below that you have the trunk opening. So, and logo right on the side. Again, this portion right here, kind of like the front grille, is all matte black, and now you have this very aggressive diffuser, two huge exhaust tips in the back, and then you have this reflector light that goes right alongside, and what it looks like a brake light from the race car. I'm not sure if this is functional or not. I haven't been behind this car. Now let's pop the trunk and let's see how much room we have. So I gotta tell you, the trunk itself, it is pretty deep, it's pretty spacious. And then what do we have here? Oh, this is a strut brace. That's pretty cool. That's for the extra rigidity, the extra support and better handling. Now what it does though, it looks like the seat can be folded down as one piece. There's no splits anywhere, and that strut brace actually makes it almost unusable. So, well, you know, I guess it's better to have a better performance than more room in the trunk. And do we have a spare tire? No spare tire on this one. You have a fix-it-flat kit. That's pretty much it. The interior of it is surprisingly spacious in the back. Look at me, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not touching my knees to the front seat. I have it adjusted to my regular driving position. I have probably about 2 inches above my head and several inches for the shoulder room. Now the rear seat, like I always said, it's mostly for 2 passenger. Third one would be really squeezed in. But it's a very interesting interior, so let me show it to you. Starting with the door panel right here, you can see some suede insert over here. Now, unfortunately, everything else is this hard plastic. Kind of wish they made it a little bit more premium, especially if you're looking at the higher end trim as far as this vehicle. Now, the seat materials, it's a leatherette with suede inserts. It's very good looking. It's fairly comfortable as well. And this is the back seat. Now, as far as the things that I don't like about it, there's no vents for the rear passenger. There's no connectivity, so no USB, no USB-C ports or anything like this. I think those would be very useful for the rear passengers, Hyundai. And check out the seats from the back. Check it out, guys. Let's hear the sound of these doors. Boom. Nice and solid. As far as the door panel, similar to the one in the back with a couple differences. Well, first of all, the suede inserts got some pretty cool trim over here. You do have a tweeter. You do have the bottom speaker cover. It is a Bose stereo on this one. And actually the armrest over here, it is an injection molding plastic, so it's a little bit softer than the one in the back. Window mirror lock controls, all of that stuff is over here, and then you have more storage in the bottom of these doors. Now, walking in this vehicle, first of all, you see the N badge right on the door sill, and check out these seats. They are awesome. They look like the Recaro seats. I think that's actually Hyundai makes them themselves. These are the racing seats basically. This N logo actually lights up when you lock this vehicle and walk away from it. And let's jump inside. Let's see the rest of it. Take a quick look at the interior of this 2022 Hyundai Elantra N. Gotta tell you, definitely looks sporty. All right, we're gonna start it off. So of course the engine start stop button is right here, and I hope you could hear that growl of the exhaust when you start it, which is pretty awesome actually. Now you do have those two 10.25-inch screens over here, which is premium again. And starting off with the steering wheel, that's probably one of my favorite steering wheel designs. We've seen that basically on the Kona N before. Very, very similar. Very nice to the touch. It's kind of beefy. It's soft. It does have the stitching, the blue stitching. By the way, it's the same stitching as you can see on the seats. Very exposed shifters right over here, and you can put it in the manual mode and shift it if you'd like to. Even though it is an automatic transmission, right at the bottom you have the N badge, and the steering wheel, this is kind of, it's not this regular shiny black. It's more like a metallic black color. Really nicely composed over here. Now the two N buttons over here, this one is basically to change the different drive modes, and you can have eco, normal, sport, and then you have the N mode as well. That's a separate button for that. It's customizable as well, so you can check out the different settings for the engine, steering, and suspension. By the way, this is electronically controlled suspension over here, and here you go. This is the NGS button. That button allows you to add an extra 10 horsepower when you need it for that extra performance of this vehicle. Now the buttons itself, you know, they have the same meaning as on the other Elantras, but again, if you take a closer look, this is the kind of metallic black, really nice and premium. So the mode button is customizable, then the start button is customizable. You also have the phone button as well as the volume and the voice control on this side. On the other side, you have the pages button that controls what's going on in the instrument cluster, as well as you have the cruise control button, pause and repeat, lane control, and then you have up and down and enter basically, or OK button. We're going to see what's going on in this instrument cluster right here. As you can see, there's tons of information over here. First of all, it is a sporty vehicle. So 192 is the oil temperature, 198 is the engine temperature. Right now, turbo is at 0 psi and there's no torque. We're standing still, right? Over here, you have the temperature gauge. On the other side, you have the fuel gauge. And then right at the bottom of this huge tachometer, you can see 88 degrees outside. And then you have engine, steering, suspension settings, and then miles per hour over here. So that's what's going on right here. Okay, now, can we change anything on this screen? Yes, we can see on the right-hand side, we can change right now here, tire pressure. Okay, then you have the G force. Now you have the lap timer, turbo PSI. There's a lot more settings on the infotainment system screen, another 10.25 inch screen. Let's see if we can give you a nice close-up of what's going on in here. And the first thing that jumps at you is this N mode, right? So once you turn that on, you can see you have all the settings that you've seen on the dashboard before, like the, well, you didn't see the throttle, but see that changes as soon as I hit that gas pedal. Oil temperature, engine temperature, you have the lap timer, you have the RPMs, as well as the speed over here, circuit and brake press. So that's important if you're driving this vehicle aggressively. If you switch it over to the next screen over here, so that's where you can adjust the custom one. So let's see, engine, you can do normal, sport, or sport plus, and then the same settings going for steering, suspension, transmission. ELSD, so that's limited slip differentials, electronic stability control, exhaust sound. You can have it normal, sport, or sport plus as well. And then you have the G-force over here. Launch control, you activate it from here. We're not going to do it. It's a brand new vehicle. I really don't want to break it for the person that's going to be buying it, so I'm not going to push it too hard. Now, scrolling down, well, before we do that, let's check out what else is here. Basically standard to all of the other Hyundais with the bigger screen. So you have the map, navigation menu, phone projection. By the way, it's still a wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Voice memo, climate control. Let's see if we can control it through here. Nope, you can't control it through here. You actually have to control it through the bottom portion of it. Valet mode, quiet mode. We've seen that before. Turns off the front speakers or the rear speakers and limits the front speaker outlet. Radio, all right. So we have FM, AM, Sirius XM. Those are your modes. Then you can also play your Bluetooth audio if you'd like to. Go back to the main menu, setup. That's where you can customize, you know, your buttons that are on the steering wheel, also the button that's below this navigation screen. So vehicle navigation, sound, device connections, voice recognition, screen layout, display, blue link, general. So let's take a look at the display. Illumination, blue light filter, camera settings. By the way, we haven't checked the camera out yet. I'll do that in just a second. So these are your settings basically. Go back to the main screen. And the last screen over here is your media, blue link, notifications, and user manual. Now, I'm not going to go in detail of any of them. If you've seen any of my other Hyundai videos, you can check those out. There's more detail as far as this infotainment system. So let's move to the rear view camera and let's see what that is. So the basic rear view camera, okay, actually quality's okay, it's pretty good. There's no 360, there's no front view camera, side cameras, or anything like this. So just a basic one. Trajectory lines that move with the steering wheel, and then I put it back in park. So that's it. Now scrolling down below over here, you have some shortcut buttons for the map, navigation, radio, media, power, volume knob, seek, track, custom button, and setup. And then scrolling down, that's where you control your HVAC system. So this is for your temperature control, fan control. You do have heated seats with this vehicle, no cooled seats, but I don't think they'd be able to put cooled seats if they're not perforated and they're suede. So at the bottom over here, you have your USB outlets, 2 of them, and 12-volt power outlet, and here's your wireless charging over here. Now drive modes, you can select it. If you didn't like the button on the steering wheel, you can select it from here. That actually also changes the display, so I'm going to go back there and check it out for you. Camera, we've already seen that, and then you have a nice shifter. Check this out, and right on top. And one of the cool features over here, you put it in your manual mode. Now you can switch the gears on the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. You can also switch them through here if you like to do it this way. Cup holders, piano black trim around it, regular parking brake, right? And then you have more storage over here. So as I said, when you switch to drive modes, it changes the display over here. So let's see what we have. So we had, this is the regular drive mode, normal, sport, eco, and then here's what happens when you switch it to N mode. Boom, right there. This is the mode where this vehicle has been designed if you want to drive it hard. Now, it's also a cool daily driver. This is not a vehicle that's overly aggressive if you put it in the regular sport, eco mode or normal mode. Now, one thing that a lot of people ask me about the previous Elantra is, what is this? And that's a really good question. Some people say that it is a place where you could put your phone holder right here. I don't know if that's true or not. Some people say that Hyundai just designed it to kind of offset it, so it does have something on both sides of this instrument cluster. And some people say it's a mystery and nobody knows what it is. What do you guys think it is? Put it down in the comment section below. I'd be curious to find out what the true answer is to this. Now, looking at the dashboard over here, it does have this pretty cool texture to it. And then one last thing to check out is right on top of here. So we have the light controls. We do have a regular sunroof. This is not a panoramic sunroof or anything like this, but it does have the regular sunroof. And then as far as the visors, you do have, what's up guys, and illuminated visors. Illuminations is up on top. Vehicle is pretty cool. Take it for a spin. We're about to take this vehicle on the road. It's actually running, ready to go. A couple things. First of all, pricing. Now, this vehicle, as equipped, Elantra N, DCT transmission with destination charge and only cargo tray added from the factory, $34,860. Now, if you are looking for the pricing and availability, you know, call the guys at Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood, Florida, if you are interested in this particular car. As of this filming, they still have it. They have one more coming, I think, that's not spoken for. I don't know what they're selling it for, so you need to give them a call or, you know, send them an email. I'll post a link in the description below. So a couple of things about this vehicle, pricing out of the way. There's also available, by the way, with the 6-speed manual transmissions. For those of you who like to drive manuals, good news, because it's available in that too. Gas mileage, 20 in the city, 30 on the expressway, for combined gas mileage of 23. One thing I didn't mention, you know, as far as the suspension, it is electronically controlled suspension on this vehicle. So when you actually do shift it into the sport mode or the N mode, it actually adjusts accordingly. Of course, it does have a sporty engine. It is pretty stiff. Without further ado, let's take it on the road and let's see what it can do. First things first, I had to put it in the N mode to make sure that I have the fun mode enabled, but you also have the regular modes in it. And just a slow acceleration, you can feel this vehicle is fairly stiff, but it also holds on to the road very nicely. Holds on to the gears a little bit longer. Again, we are in this performance mode right now, and I have a stretch of road that I'm going to be able to open it up a little bit to see how it really pulls. Plus, if you really needed that pull, you have this NGS button for the 10 seconds of extra performance, and just in case you need it. And those pops and crackles in the N mode, that exhaust was specifically designed for that car. I tell you, it sounds pretty good. So again, without doing anything crazy, stop. No launch mode. I like that. When you let off that gas and you hear those crackles behind you, put the smile on your face. So it's really, I mean, it's a quick vehicle. I think it's rated just under 5 seconds, 0 to 60. So it's about the second behind Golf Type R. But again, you know, if you look at the pricing of it, it's also about $10,000 less expensive. Well, you know, speaking of that, what is the competition for it? The Civic Si, it's less powerful. They don't have the Type R for this year's. And even if they did, it would probably be the price of the Golf Type R as well. So, well, there's no competition. There's a Subaru WRX, but that's an all-wheel drive. This is a front-wheel drive. So really, there's no direct competition for this vehicle, you know, as of right now. Well, maybe some of the other manufacturers are going to come out, but that's a lot of fun, you know, especially talking about the price. As I hope you can hear when it downshifts, and it does have this pretty cool rev matching. Well, the vehicle is tight, so you can definitely feel the bumps, but it's not overly tight. Now, I've driven the Veloster N, and I can say that that one was a lot tighter, a lot more bouncy on the road. Now, what also is important about this particular vehicle too, it does have the limited slip differentials. When cornering or when turning, it transfers more power to the outer wheels to help you with the turning and reduce that wheel slippage. And so that's really important for a vehicle like this. Overall, very positive thoughts go to here. Now I have another stretch of road over here. I'm going to be able to check that out. Those pops behind me. Oh gosh, you know, you gotta love it. Not only it is actually fast, but it also sounds awesome too, and that's not an easy thing to do. Now let's flip it over to the manual mode. Now let's see here. Every time you do the reduction or the upshift on it, exhaust makes some incredible noise on this vehicle. So super cool. Overall, very positive thoughts on this vehicle. If you're looking for a performance vehicle, don't want to spend a ton of money, don't skip it. Go to a dealership, check it out yourself. Don't take my word for it. I mean, it does have a ton of features on it. There's really not too many things that I would change on this vehicle. The one thing, I guess, I would like to see a little bit of connectivity and vents in the back for the rear passengers. But that's not a huge deal. That's just because most of the people, especially if it's a performance sedan, they're not going to be driving with the family all the time. They're going to be having fun on the track, hopefully, and actually using this vehicle to its potential. But you know, that's about it. Everything else, it's great. And now keep in mind, even though it is a performance sedan, it is still covered by the same 10-year 100,000 miles Hyundai limited powertrain warranty. So if you're anywhere in Florida, check out the guys at Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood. They have this one, and they have one more coming, and this is available at the time of this filming. Give them a call, find out the pricing. Hopefully you can make a deal. As you can see, I didn't beat on it, so I was nice to it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something. I really had fun making this video. If you liked watching it, give me the like, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.